good morning to each and everyone present here. Welcome to our 1 week online faculty development program, Pathways to Progress, Artificial Intelligence Driven Education for Viksit Bharat at 2047. We are thrilled to have you join us on this exciting journey into the world of artificial intelligence, a frontier where innovation meets education. Over the course of this FDP, we aim to develop an understanding and equip you substantially with the knowledge and strategies to integrate artificial intelligence concept effectively into our teaching learning practices. AI is no more just a buzzword in this rapidly evolving digital world. It's a transforming force which is shaping industries, societies, and educational landscapes. As educators, it is crucial for all of us to stay ahead and updated about the latest in the field. Throughout this FDP, you will engage in interactive discussion and some hands-on sessions with experts in the field. We aim to make this FDP not just about a theoretical exercise, it's actually about empowerment. It's about empowering you. It's about empowering the educators. It's empowering with knowledge and skills to inspire the next generation of AI enthusiasts and problem solvers. So get ready to embark on a week of discovery, collaboration, and growth. Together, we unlock the potential of artificial intelligence in education and we pave the way for a Viksit Bharat 2047 through AI-driven education. Once again, on behalf of Delhi Teachers University, I welcome you all to make this FTP an unforgettable journey towards AI-powered excellence. Before we start the program, let us just remember the God, because without God's name, nothing can be done better. Bhageshwari ma'am, please play the video. Ma'am, please share the screen. It's Monday morning, 10 o'clock, a little restful things. I guess it's visible to everybody now.
या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदां जाड्यान्धकारापहाम् हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्
Thank you, ma'am. Before we start with the FDP, and we invite the chief guest and the guest of honor for the inaugural session. I would like to just take few minutes to introduce Delhi Teachers University to all of you. Many of you would be knowing and many of you may not be aware, Delhi Teachers University is a nascent university which has been established in the year 2022. And we are embarking on the growth to provide teacher education with a different perspective so that we are empowering school teachers and higher education teachers both. Let me now take this opportunity to introduce our Vice Chancellor, Sir, before his inaugural address. Bhageshwari ma'am, please play the slide.
Kunal, no need for any introduction. Please, you just carry on because...
Sir, please, 10 seconds, sir. Sir, आपका वीडियो ऑफ है.
Yes.
By the time the slide gets played, let me just introduce our VC sir to everybody present here. Professor Dhananjay Joshi has done his bachelor's in education, master's in education from Central Institute of Education, Delhi University. He was a gold medalist in both the teacher education courses. He has done his master's in political science with specialization in international relations and human rights. Post that, he had been having a varied teaching experience and administrative experience of almost 25 years now. He started his journey with Maharaja Surajmal Institute, and then he also worked with Maharishi Valmiki College of Education for some time. Post that, he joined Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University as an assistant professor, where he progressed to associate professor and then professor and dean. And in 2022, he joined Delhi Teachers University as the founder vice chancellor. So whatever Delhi Teachers University has on itself right now is being embarked on his shoulders, and we are blessed to have him as the patron of the organization and patron of this faculty development program, because he has been giving us all the options to explore the different avenues and embark and contribute to the field of teacher education in all the ways possible. Sir, can I welcome you please to share the inaugural address for the faculty development program?
Thank you very much. Namaskar. A very good morning to all the esteemed faculty members of Delhi Teachers University, invited guests, our guest of honor, and Professor Goel, Sanjay Goel, the keynote speaker of this faculty development program. We are very proudly saying about our university, and we take pride about for having this faculty development program. Basically, it's a brainchild of Government of India's mandate of Viksit Bharat. As you know that our Honorable Prime Minister has given us a roadmap that India would be a Viksit Bharat in 2047. So in this, to fulfilling this vision, all the university has been given the roadmap. And in this year, 10th of January, our Lieutenant Governor of Delhi has called all the Vice Chancellor of state universities under the auspicious aegis of Delhi government, as well as other central universities of Delhi, that all the Vice Chancellors has given this task that we should go for Viksit Bharat strategy for higher education. And in this, they have given us a mandate that we should organize various activities, student-centered scholastic activities, non-scholastic activities, and day or night we should visualize the idea. And basically, the idea of Viksit Bharat is not new for us. India has governed the whole world. We were the Vishwa Guru once upon a time, that India has a contribution in knowledge economy, and all the major issues of wisdom is originated from Indian ethos. We have developed zero. We have coined the term decimal. India has given the concept of values to the whole world. The first Vedic Richa said, Anu Bhadra Kratva Yantu Vishwata, the first, Richa of our Rigveda said that the best things should come from all the sides. So the all kind of Vedic literature to a modern literature, you can find that India has been throughout the whole centuries we have given this we have been a civilization. So it is not rhetoric to say that जब जीरो दिए भारत ने दुनिया को तब गिनती आई, देता न दशमलव भारत तो चांद पे जाना मुश्किल था, धरती और चांद की दूरी का अंदाजा लगाना मुश्किल था, सभ्यता जहां पहले आई पहले जन्मी थी जहां पे कला, मेरा भारत वो भारत है जिसके पीछे संसार चला. This is not merely a song, my dear friends. This is actually Indian vision, which we have governed the whole world from the last 5,000 years of our civilization. Now we take pride that the best Indians are working from as a diaspora. If you count that our diaspora, whether Sundar Pichai, Parag Agarwal, Indra Nui, and there are lots of people those are working for Indian education system, and we take pride that Indians have done so much for shaping the whole world. We have contributed in world economy so higher, but there is also a question that Indians brain draining is the biggest question in this century. Homi Jahangir Bhabha, Vikram Sarabhai to APJ Abdul Kalam, they all not only government, but every Indian citizen desired that India should become a Vishwa Guru. So my gratitude to our honorable guest of chief guest and guest keynote speaker, Professor Sanjay Goel Saab. He's a Vice Chancellor of JP University. I must say, sir, thank you very much. In just even a one call that you have accepted, we are also the Guru Bhai. Our Guru, Professor B.N. Mishra, who is a founding director of NSUT, National Netaji Subhash University of Delhi, is basically a bridge between me and Professor Goel. And Professor B.N. Mishra should also be the part of this program, but due to some health reasons, he could not afford to be the part of this FDP program. And basically, he motivated me to organize this faculty development program for all the teacher educators across India. And this is a very good initiative because after so many digital changes, revolutions coming from all the sides in all the sectors, and especially in AI, ML, and so many robotics, there are so many changes are coming, and I believe that Professor Goel is the best person to answer all these questions, because teachers should ahead than all from their students, and they must be guided in a better manner. And I do feel that we should work for the progression of a nation, and for that the Delhi Teachers University has been created and incorporated the specific aim of professional training at both our pre-service and professional service arena. And the more important aspect of this newly invented and newly coined university, which has been just a 2-year-old university, and universities will shaping has a time of 100 years and 200 years. And in this scenario, when there is a small sapling of Delhi Teachers University has been invented in just March 2022, and this university has from this inception has taken pride to all kind of faculty development, to various symposiums. Recently we have symposium on pedagogy of higher education, which is a very important area, has been coined by NEP 2020, because in teacher training we are working on pedagogy, but in higher education no one is talking about pedagogy. A MTech is teaching to BTech, an MBA is teaching to BBA, a MSc is teaching to BSc, but without pedagogy, without classroom management, without having child psychology, without having life skill knowledge, it is very important. And Kothari Commission in 1964-66 is very rhetorically said, no nation can rise above its level of teachers, and a destiny of a nation lies in its classroom. अगर टीचर्स को हम पेडागोजी नहीं सिखाएंगे, अगर टीचर्स को हम आज के जो डेवलपमेंट हो रहे हैं उनके बारे में नहीं ज्ञान देंगे, और अगर मुझे लगता है कि हम पेडागोजी के बारे में अपने स्कूल टीचर से ज़्यादा कॉलेज के टीचर्स को नहीं बताएंगे, तो हमारा विद्यार्थी हमें खारिज कर देगा. क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि कहीं बहुत किसी शायर ने, निदा फाजली साहब ने बहुत अच्छे शब्दों में ये कहा था कि बहुत बढ़िया बात उन्होंने कही थी कि इन नन्हे मुन्ने हाथों को चांद सितारे छूने दो, 4 किताबें पढ़कर, वरना ये भी हम जैसे हो जाएंगे। अगर हमने टीचर्स को, बच्चों को पढ़ने का जो उनकी जो शिक्षा में अगर एम्पैथी, सिंपैथी और उनको हमने IQ और EQ और SQ जो तीनों कॉम्बिनेशंस हमारी शिक्षा नीति ने बताए, इंटेलिजेंट कोशेंट, इमोशनल कोशेंट एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल कोशेंट, तो हमें लगता है कि हम अपनी बुनियादी जो दायित्व है उससे हम खारिज हो जाते हैं। क्योंकि हायर एजुकेशन में जो स्टूडेंट आता है वो आज के दौर में वो हमसे बहुत ज़्यादा आगे की नॉलेज कहूँ या इंफॉर्मेशन कहूँ या डेटा कलेक्शन कहूँ, वो उसको सीख के आता है। अगर हमारे टीचर्स को, अपने विद्यार्थियों को का सम्मान पाना है, तो मुझे लगता है कि वी हैव टू बी वेरी कैंडिडली शुड आल्सो बी learn about new kind of practices and innovations are coming in pedagogy. And with this note, I believe that this faculty development program will be a milestone for across all kind of best practices going in India. And it's a transition time, my dear friends. NEP has just came in 2 years back, and this university has also been coined or established 2 years back. So we are in this transition phase, and since inception I have already given you the small kind of introduction of my university. We are working from Delhi, but mandate is not Delhi only. The teachers university is a demand, and there are so many teachers university in developed countries. In China, in every province is a teachers university. When AIMS has established 65 years back, IITs have been established 70 years back, IIMs have been established, but no one thought about teachers university. We have produced accidental teachers. We have produced teachers, but not the choice. We have been not given the due credit of a teacher. We just say on 5th September, Guru Govind do khade kaake lago paye, balihari Guru aapne jin Govind diyo mataye. But no one is coming to this profession. The best brain has been not attracted in this profession. The best students are going for IITs. They are good choosing NEET, they are qualifying NEET, and they are attracting by other professions. But if you will not attract the best brain to teaching, then we will not be a Vishwa Guru. Without having Chanakya, we could not imagine the Takshila University, the Nalanda University. So I believe that this is the right time to have Teachers University concept. In Indian government has been already taking care about Teachers University in all over India basis. In Tamil Nadu, there is one Teachers University, and in North, Italy Teachers University is the only university focusing on holistic higher education and specifically on the whole, catering the global needs of the society. So in this morning, we have Professor AP Behra Sahab also with us. He will be joining soon. Professor Behra is a joint director working day and night for the cause of education technology, because our teachers should also know about the all kind of technological driven aspects given by AI, ML and other areas of technology. And I do believe that he will also focus on what kind of NCERT has taken the development on teacher education. And we have Professor Goyal. He is a very vast 30 years of experience. He has worked in different arenas, and I'm very thankful to Professor Goyal again for joining us, and Professor AP Behra Sahab. And we are in the last, I can say that our vision of this university is re-imaging teacher education. We are again imaging teacher education, how teacher education should be a world-class teacher education, because unless and until we do not have committed teachers, we do not have self-driven teachers, we do not have motivated teachers, we cannot change the destiny of a nation, which has been set by Kothari Commission, which has been set by National Education Policy. So without taking much time, I again thanks to all the participants, those who have joined this 1 week faculty development program, and the various my co-speakers and so co-panelists has been also given their consent. I am thankful for all of them. Professor Jagmohan Singh Rajput, Padma Shri Professor J.S. Rajput is joining valedictory program that would be on 14th of June as our chief guest, and other speakers. And we have also in touch with UGC Vice Chairman Professor Srivastava that he would also be joining our valedictory program. The first session resource person Dr. Kiran Lata Dangwal from Lucknow University. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving for your kind consent. Dr. Kaushal Kumar Bhagat, IIT Kharagpur. Dr. Piyush Javeria, Pro-President Sai Tripati University, Udaipur, Dr. Arum Khan, Associate Professor, Jamia Millia Islamia, Dr. Gupteshwar Rao, Founder, School of AI, Dr. Mansaf Alam, Professor, Department of Computer Science, Jamia Millia Islamia, Dr. Arun Solanki, he is from Computer Science and Engineering, University School of Information Communication Technology, Dr. Kiran Chaudhary, Associate Professor, Shivaji College, University of Delhi University, Dr. K. Tyagu from Department of Education, Central University of Kerala, Dr. Gaurav Singh, Professor, CIT NCRT, Dr. Ashutosh Yadav, Assistant Professor, Hansraj College, University of Delhi. And with this, we have various other professionals, those are joining this 5-day FDP program. I do believe that it would not be only a ceremonial FDP. We could find and we should work throughout to have this a splendid kind of FDP which should be fruitful, and we should work again for wisdom-oriented education, which is the mantra of our Vedic education, that we should also try that to excel in all the spheres of our education. Then only we believe that we become a Viksit Bharat. In this note, I again give my gratitude to my team led by HOD Education and all team members of Delhi Teachers University. Also, thanks to our Chancellor of the University, Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, for giving us opportunity to work from Delhi and to work not only from Delhi for catering the needs of all over India. With this note, I again thank you to all for patient hearing. So nice of you. Namaste. Dhanyavad.
Thank you so much, sir. Hearing you is always a pleasure for all of us because we learn so many other things which we generally do not pay attention to. And we all need to understand about this fact that yes, technology is something which is coming in, it's going to pave its way, but then the essence of the teaching or essence of the teaching learning process is always the teacher, and she would always be there. Now, we'll just take a pause of 1 minute. Dr. Behra is joining us. BC sir, Dr. Behra would take another 2 minutes to join us. So can we request Sanjay Goel sir to address the audience?
Yes, please.
Sanjay Goel sir?
I do believe that, sir, it's a ministerial meeting. Yesterday only the cabinet has been formed and he has been called by the director to meet the newly coined minister. He just messaged me that he will be joining in 4 more minutes. So it would be better that we should run the show without any further delay. Professor Goel having a very precious time for given us as a very precious time. So please call him and please give him proper, his remarks, and always to introduce to our audience what he has done. I have his magnificent profile, so it would be better, Dr. Sonal, to introduce Professor Goel.
Before we introduce Sanjay sir, we would just like to virtually welcome him with some flowers. Had it been in the campus, we would have done a better show, but we can do something here at least.
No, better that we would call him on our campus also after this program to, felicitate him with natural flowers.
Namaskar, Sanjay sir. I would now request Krishna ma'am to take over the dais and please introduce Sanjay Goel sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Just give me 1 moment. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Professor Sanjay Goel, Vice Chancellor, JP University. With over 37 years of professional experience, Professor Goel stands as a beacon of innovation and leadership in the realm of computing and engineering education, outcome-based education, curriculum design, and quality management. Throughout his career, Sir has held various prestigious positions at esteemed institutions such as the National Informatics Center, Netaji Subhas University of Technology, Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, JP Institute of Information Technology, JK Lakshmipati University, and Galgotia University. He has also collaborated with numerous national and international experts on various projects and played a pivotal role in organizing several international and national conferences. his leadership in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at JP Institute of Information Technology over 16 years was instrumental in establishing it as a preferred choice for students. His guidance has nurtured the spirits of hundreds of students. As a prolific scholar, Professor Goel has authored numerous research papers and articles, shedding light on various aspects of computing and outcome based education. Professor Sanjay Goel's unwavering dedication to excellence in education, coupled with his visionary leadership and multidisciplinary expertise, make him a true luminary in the field of higher education. Please join me in welcoming Professor Sanjay Goel to our esteemed gathering. We welcome you, sir.
May I?
Shilaji, before inviting sir, I also thankful to our Honorable Registrar, Dr. Nitin Malik, for joining us as an administrator. Recently has joined. He is through online. I have seen him as a part of our faculty development program, and I request him to deliver vote of thanks after this beautiful inaugural ceremony. Sir, please, Professor Sanjay Goel Saab, Vice Chancellor, JP University, Anup Shahar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for having me here. And I'm particularly thankful to Professor B.N. Mishra, who introduced me to Professor Joshi, and that's why I'm here. I'm having a very nice nostalgic feeling at the moment. Why? Because I started my teaching career at a Delhi institute, which was then called Delhi Institute of Technology, which was located at Kashmiri Gate, where later on the IGDTUW and now the Ambedkar University is located. So I'm part of the same fraternity in the sense that the Delhi state has created some wonderful education institutes, and I spent several of my years at one of those very beautiful institutes. Vice Chancellor Saab has touched upon some very important points, and he reminded me of that Rig Veda shloka, and which he recited, Anu Badra Krako Yantu Shutaha. That was also the tagline of then Delhi Institute of Technology. You know, so that was very, very touchy when you recited that richa. So I felt at home because of that recitation. You mentioned about NEP, you mentioned about Viksit Bharat. So before moving on to AI, I would like to spend a minute on understanding what should we mean by Viksit Bharat. Very, very important. We have a really have a long way to go, and our education system, I spent most of my life in Delhi, but now I am looking at interesting facts to your observation, and which are very, very serious. Viksit Bharat would mean that the per capita income in the Viksit Bharat would be equal to the currently developed countries, almost near to that. That is what we should aim for. Currently, our per capita income is around $2,000. It has been increasing consistently over the last several decades and years, and every year it goes up a bit. But still, we are far behind the per capita income in the developed countries. We are around 10% of the per capita income in the developed countries, and we have a really long way to go. Long way to go. Our expenditure on education on per student is not even 10% of what the developed countries are doing. It is far, far lower than that. We really have to spend a lot as a country on education, so that, and education has to focus. There is a mindset problem, not so much in Delhi, but just leave Delhi and you come to the rural areas just 10 kilometers away from the outskirts of the Delhi, and you would find that the current youth is still held up in the old love of government jobs. So as long in the Viksit countries, in the developed countries, the youth does not, most of the youth does not aspire for the government jobs. Whereas in our country, except for some niche places like in some pockets of Delhi and some pockets of cities like that, most of our youth in small towns and even in big towns in the interior part is really aspiring for the government jobs. So as long as 90% of our youth is aspiring for the government job and is not looking at as entrepreneurship as a career, India is not going to be developed. So in order to make India the Viksit Bharat, the education will have to play a role, and for that the government will have to invest a lot in education. The society will have to invest much more in education. The government as well as the society are not spending enough in education. The new education policy, beautiful document. I'm a great supporter of it. However, when I look at the interior in the country, I noticed that there are government affiliated colleges where the teacher-student ratio sometimes is going up to like 60 or even 70. So if the teacher-student ratio is 60 or 70, you talk of AI, you talk of any technology, any intervention or any policy, it is really not going to work. No NEP, no AI, no technology is going to work if you have a teacher-student ratio of 60:1 in higher education. And that is a reality in the country. I've been to Aligarh, I've been to various places. There are colleges that have that kind of teacher-student ratio. They don't have enough rooms to sit their students. In the class of which is meant to make 60 students sit, they have 120 students. Students don't go to the class. State universities, very unfortunately, have even stopped taking the attendance record before allowing the students to for examination. You see, the education is so artificial intelligence would contribute. Yes, it will contribute a lot. I'm a technology professor, basically a computer science professor. So I'm a great supporter of the usage of the technology in various walks of life, including education. However, before that, the precondition is that the infrastructure is made available, the rooms are there, the teachers are there, the laboratories are there, the library is funded. So there is a great need for providing adequate fund for education in the country, and it is our duty of all educators and all education leaders and all education administrators to keep pressing for more budget for education. It's very, very important that we create that pressure group on the governments of the day, on the state governments, on the central government, everywhere, and motivate them to, it's not that only once we invented zero, we have to invent many more zeros in the future. We have to invent many more dashamlavs in future. So we can't just go on basking in the glory of the Bhattacharya and the great rishis of the past, that they did great things. And we may have been Vishwaguru, and so many have been, there were so many Vishwagurus, but we have to live in today's reality. And the future of Viksit Bharat would be when our students have good teachers, they have good number of teachers and good adequate number of adequate infrastructure in their institutes. That is, so having said that, I come to the theme of the workshop, very timely theme, artificial intelligence. So we are living in an era which I would like to call as in an era where we are creating magic with logic. There used to be times when the magic was through mantras. That is the myth, that you will recite some mantra and some magic will happen. That is the story, that is a belief that. But today we can create all sort of magic using logic, using mathematical logic, using computational logic, and the machines. We are living in that era where we'll create a lot of, it looks like magic to anybody, even to the technology people. It looks like magic. The kind of the interaction that you have with AI-powered machines, with the robots, with the chatbot, with ChatGPT and various other things. It's really magic. When you see a robo performing surgery, it is magic. Okay, and when you see a driverless car, it is magic. So it is an era of profound magic created with logic, strong foundation of mathematics, strong engineering foundation, and also social sciences, because these machines have to be very much human-centered. They have to be working with the society. So they have to be having all the sensitivity of the humans, of interacting with the humans. And so the social sciences have to play a big role in the new era of technology. artificial intelligence is really booming a lot. There are projections that McKinsey came out with a report last year. As per this report, the annual economic potential of artificial intelligence it can go up to $25 trillion annually. $25 trillion annually, it can go to that. That is the upper possibility of so we as a country are still aspiring to be a $5 trillion economy in the coming years or a few years. So you can imagine what $25 trillion would mean, collectively and worldwide. And that is the potential of the AI. Out of that, around $4 trillion is expected from the generative AI itself. Things like ChatGPT, etc. $4 trillion of economy would be generated through generative AI. Education market is also not behind. In fact, AI has been one of the for the last 60 years, AI researchers have been experimenting with using AI for education purpose. There were in 60s itself attempt had started that let us create intelligent tutoring systems for various things, for mathematics, for physics at various AI laboratories in the West. Some ITS were developed, and even in countries like India, where AI work started early in 70s and in 80s in some of the IITs, BITS Pilani, etc. And people started working in that direction, that let us create a tutor system, an intelligent tutor system using AI. Now, those were experimental days, partially successful, partially not successful, having some ability and having many limitations. But gradually, it has moved a lot. It has moved ahead. And today, the projection is that by 2030, the market of AI in education would become 10 times than today, which is currently it is around $5 billion. By 2030, it will become more than $55 billion. So within next 6 years, we will see a 10-time expansion of the products and services using AI for education purpose. That's very, very important. And this is where the educators can play a big role. Even the education robo market is going to see a big expansion. It will be like $5 billion by 2030. So the market is expanding. The companies are coming. That the European Union funding agencies like European Union and various, and even in India, a lot of funding is becoming available for developing educational tools using AI in a variety of manner. So when we say AI for education, there are basically three categories in which we can look at how AI can be applied in education. One is the conventional administrative work, the management work, that is you are doing timetable work, you are doing registration work, you are doing examination work, grading work, this kind of administrative tasks, and so they are already supported through management information systems of a variety. All education institutes today have an ERP. Embed AI into the ERPs that we have. That is a very easy thing to do, and that is happening already. So this is AI for a system. Putting AI into the systems that are running, the digital systems that are now running the universities or helping in running the universities, not running the universities, but helping in running the universities. Okay. The second is creating AI that will directly interact with the students, through ITS, etc. Intelligent tutoring system I mentioned, that was one thing, and there are a lot of other things that are going to take place. In the pedagogy, Joshi Saab very rightly mentioned that that in order to teach BTech, you just have to have an MTech. In order to teach BSc, you just have to have BSc. I have actually, Joshi Saab, met professors who retired from the best of the institutes in the country without having, they were professors at X IIT, Y IIT, or Delhi University, or that university, not in the field of education, but in other areas. It could be science, it could be engineering, it could be management, commerce, or even social science. Many of them never in their life ever read a single page on pedagogy. So that has been the situation, and I am very much supportive of this idea that you cannot be given this responsibility to teach the next generation without knowing about pedagogy. pedagogical training is very, very important. I myself started teaching without knowing anything about pedagogy. I joined Delhi Institute of Technology in 1988, and until I joined, and I was doing some experimental teaching, and I thought maybe this is just an art. Teaching is an art. It's like whether some people do it in some way, some people do it in. I did not even know that education is a scientific discipline until I joined Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts as a multimedia head there, and then we started making some CD-ROMs which were educational in nature, and then I started exploring the huge and rich literature of pedagogy and education and cognitive psychology, etc. And I was so fascinated that since then I have been spending more than 50% of my time of reading. I've been dividing it, and around 50% of the time has been devoted to that kind of literature. Okay, so very, very important that pedagogy becomes a topic of study for all teachers. Teachers need to develop not only the scholarship of the discipline, not only the scholarship of application of the discipline, they also need to be engaged in the scholarship of teaching and learning. Very, very important. All teachers must somewhat, some may engage more, some may engage less, but they must all engage somewhat with the scholarship of teaching and learning. And it is where the use of AI would come in. When you engage with the scholarship of teaching and learning, you would use AI appropriately. The teachers who do not engage with the scholarship of teaching and learning, if they are giving this responsibility to put technology in, they would be putting technology in a very bad manner. And that would be disastrous even for the technology. So in order to bring in interventions that will affect the learning process of the students, everybody must first learn about pedagogy and of course learn about technology and then marry the two. Because without learning about cognitive psychology, without knowing about learning styles, without knowing about cognitive dissonance, without learning about all those beautiful principles of education literature, if somebody tries to bring in technology in the domain of education, it will create a disaster. I tell you that. So it is very, very important that institutes like DTU play a key role into experimenting with AI, because all those technologically enthusiastic people who would otherwise propose any kind of solutions, without knowing whether it is a wise solution or not, they would try to propose any kind of, because it can be done with AI, let's do it. That is not the right way of using a technology in any domain. Just because it can be done, it need not be done. What is important is that what is the need of the domain, which is education? How do students learn? How do teachers teach? What makes their learning effective? And what makes deductive learning effective? What makes inductive learning effective? And can we support deductive learning through AI? Can we support inductive learning through AI? That is the issue. If we just otherwise, if we just try to put something very superficial, just because it is technical, and put VR, AR, etc., those kind of technologies, that may be really deployed in a very, very meaningless manner, and that will not create the impact. That will actually be counterproductive. Very important to apply AI in a meaningful manner. So for the student side, we need to develop models of how the conventional deductive teaching model can be strengthened using AI. How can we make intelligent tutors available to the students? How can we have the AI assisted teaching assistant make the job of the teacher more enjoyable? How can we make the learning of the student more effective using AI driven agents? And the control still is control has to remain with in the hands of the teacher. Nobody should attempt to solve the problem of the teacher-student ratio by deploying AI. That is a very wrong way of approaching. Sometimes I hear that kind of sloganeering also, that because we don't have teachers, we will give them this technology and video, etc., and then there is AI which will take care of it. That is going to be disastrous. The teachers would be needed, their role would transform gradually, but fundamental role would be they should encourage students to think how AI can help us to encourage thinking in our students, how AI can help us to engage students in problem solving, how AI can help us to support their learning, how AI can help us to support them reason, how AI can help us to check us, critique their reasoning. Those kind of tools would be useful and meaningful, and that's where the teachers and the scholars of the teacher education and the pedagogy would play a very, very important role. In the West, and especially in US, there are many laboratories that are working on that idea. Education has been a discipline for long, but in many places, the Department of the Education and the Department of Computer Science or Department of AI joined hands and created departments and faculties of what they call learning technology. There are many universities running master's program in learning technology, where AI, not just conventional education technology, but also the AI is a very, very important aspect. We have to see how we can use AI to make independent learners, because in the current times, no student can be given the education which will suffice their career by the university or the college. The learning has to be lifelong, and in that sense, the AI would play a very, very important role. That we create such kind of models where the professionals, after they join the profession, for facilitating their continued education, AI-enabled tools can be greatly helpful. We need to use AI to facilitate social skills. That's very important. AI can also be helpful in creating team making across the institutes. I mean, if we imagine a base of the students of all Delhi institutes, where students can make teams, and AI can help them find partners. You have a project of this type in mind, and it's like a matchmaking, like a dating application. It helps you to find partners for your project, and also AI can become a minor partner in working out the details of the project. That's also possible. So as educators who have to propagate this idea of AI in our education, we have to focus on again three things. We have to make them learn about AI, that is the technology and the applications, that is surely there, and we have to make them learn here, and students should be trained. That should be the one of the important curriculum goals these days, that students are taught how to learn with AI and become independent learners with AI. And the third thing, which is also very, very important, is the world is going to be AI driven. It is already, and it is going to be increasingly AI embedded. Everywhere you would see increasing influence of AI. The jobs are changing. A lot of roles are changing drastically. There are projections by various research groups that around 40% of 70% of the job roles will get automated because of AI. So there will be a lot of human AI collaboration in the coming time. So we need to train students how to live meaningfully in a human AI collaborative world. That's very, very important. And the new kind of skills need to be developed amongst our students, how to use AI, how to use AI effectively. In order to use AI effectively, it is not that the novices of a discipline would be able to make good use of AI effectively for their discipline. One would have to be very deep in their own discipline in order to make use of AI in their discipline. Otherwise they will be using a very, very superficial way. So deep conceptual knowledge of their own disciplines is what is very essential to make use of the AI tools to serve their discipline. Higher order cognitive thinking, critical thinking, because AI will produce a lot of responses, and it is more important that the critical thinking skills of students are well developed, because because it is coming in a printed world, because the response is coming from computer, there is a tendency to believe that it is right. Many people just believe whatever comes on WhatsApp. Many people believe whatever Google shows. So more so is going to happen in the times to come. So the very, very important that we focus on the fundamental purpose of education, which is to develop the critical thinking skill, the problem solving skill, the higher order thinking skill, so that they can really analyze and critique the responses generated by AI and pick and not pick whatever is useful or not useful. Okay, very, very important. So we need to enhance their creativity, and AI can help them a lot in enhancing their creativity. Imagination is going to become more important than skill. A lot of skill-oriented work in the creative works is going to be passed on to the AI agents, but imagination is going to be very, very important. So with this, I would say that. Technology is fantastic. The opportunity is great for the educators. And the times are exciting. However, there are ethical issues, there are regulatory issues, there are legal issues that are also very, very important, very much sensitive to all. Engage itself with a project of developing maybe a prototype regulatory framework for using AI in education. That would be very appropriate, that we know what is to be done and what is not to be done, what to avoid and what to engage, how to carefully use AI to the harm. It is used for the benefit of the mankind, only benefit of the education, learning, what kind of so there are studies that are required of what kind of psychological impact AI would have on the students and what kind of psychological impact will it have on the teachers. These kind of studies are required, which are essentially social science kind of studies, but require a good because the students, if a student is spending more of their time with intelligent tutoring system, because we are not in the classroom, not just teaching the subject, we are teaching them socialization, we are teaching them communication, we are teaching them. So there are a lot of this human society, how to live in a society, how to affect society, how to influence society, those kind of things, irrespective of the subject we teach, whether it is science or education or technology or management, those things are part of our classroom teaching. So how, if AI comes, how to really navigate the world which is embedded with AI, and still we are able to serve the needs of the education in the larger sense, how to avoid the biases. AI can be very much biased because it is basically, we call it intelligence, but it is not intelligence. It is actually data-driven pattern matching and pattern extraction. Okay, and it is so beautifully done, and it is computationally so intensive that it looks like intelligence. It creates an illusion of intelligence. Okay, so there are hidden biases which we don't even know. So we have to see the regulatory framework has to be sensitive to that it avoids that, because right now the AI models that are trained are mostly working on the Western data sets, because the internet is full of the Western data sets. So it has been trained on those data sets. So the values of the Indian societies or the African societies are lesser represented on the internet data sets. So if the models are trained on those kind of literature, those kind of texts, they would behave that way. Whereas, so we need to create our own indigenous models also, and or train on the indigenous databases. The models need to be trained on our databases also, so that the biases that are against or in favor of a certain culture are not really influencing the students' learning. And above all, the copyright issue is very, very important. Already a lot of news is coming up that X film star has won a case that nobody can use their creations in their AI simulations, etc. Intellectual property and copyright is becoming very, very important. So we are living in a to conclude, we are living in a very exciting time. I think after the invention of printing press, we are living in an era where the education is going to see a huge transformation. The kind of the influence that the books had, but for the printed books, the universities of today wouldn't have existed. but for the printed books, the schools wouldn't have existed the way they exist. They grew in the time to come in the last several centuries. So as we can only go back and see how books influence the education in general. So similarly, so the radio, TV, etc. came, but they were not really transformative in nature. They were adding value. They were bringing addition, but they were not transformed. The book had brought a transformation, and now the AI is going to bring next generation of transformation, where the role of the teacher is. So when the availability of the book, the teacher's role changed drastically. Before that, whatever teacher taught the students was the final word. But with the invention of the books, the printed books becoming available in the hands of the students had the authentic material, and then the teacher's role changed drastically after that. So now with the AI, the teacher's role is once again going to change. How it will change, we don't yet have complete idea how it is going to change. We have to see how. So, but the best thing is to participate, engage with this development, and undertake technology development projects, undertake technology application projects, and also take social impact analysis kind of projects. How does it impact the students? How does it impact teaching learning process, etc., etc. And I think it would be very appropriate if Delhi Teachers University, along with some of the other state universities and perhaps even us, if you want to, join hands and undertake this as a big mission project of developing technologies and studies in this area. And so with this, I would conclude my session. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Professor Goel. Thank you. It's a very fantastic and very, very enriching lecture. I do believe that our participants have get benefit from your lecture. So nice of you for sparing your valuable time. Thank you again, sir. Namaskar. Over to Trishila.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to express our sincere gratitude for your enlightening address and for sharing your wisdom with us, sir. We are really grateful and humbled by your presence. Due to some urgent work, our chief guest, Dr. Behra, could not join us. So sorry for the inconvenience. And now I would like to request our registrar, sir, for the formal vote of thanks. So, sir, please, Nitin, sir.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dhananjay Joshi, the chief guest of the today's FDP, Professor Goel, Vice Chancellor, JP University, dear colleagues of the Delhi Teachers University, and all the esteemed participants who have come for this FDP. No doubt that we are online, but soon we will be always as better as to face in some other FDP also, and then we will meet each other also. At the outset, it's a great idea rather than a conception under the leadership of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dhananjay Joshi, where we are leading towards a FDP termed as specially as pathway to progress. It itself says that how an education can be a pathway towards the progress, and that too with the recent advances in the technology which Professor Sanjay Goel talked about, the artificial intelligence, the buzzword of today, that how the AI can be used into the pedagogy of the education towards the Viksit Bharat. This FDP is not going to be a simple FDP just to a learning process for the faculty or the research scholar, as this has a very heavy weighted words into it: the pathway, the progress, the artificial intelligence, and above all, the Viksit Bharat to be onto the global map with the education pedagogy. As we all know that artificial intelligence is nothing but a simulation of human intelligence, as rightly said by Professor Goel. And this is embedded into the machines, making it machines to think and act like human being. And there is always, with the advent of the artificial intelligence in so many ways, whether it is education, health, or any other kind of activity which the human being carries out into the society, there has always been a concern now these days that is artificial intelligence going to replace the teachers? I personally believe, Professor Goel, it is not going to replace the teachers. It can never replace the teachers, because teachers they have not only the understanding of the knowledge, they also have their experiences to share how the knowledge can be carried out and taken into the best toward the society. So on this day, when we are starting a big FDP on a very big theme, and that too leading towards enabling and contributing to the Viksit Bharat, I once again thank the chief guest for taking out some time and be available onto this FDP with his thoughts which he just shared. Thanks goes to the Professor Dhananjay, also the Honorable Vice Chancellor, for conceptualization, for visualizing the phenomena of the use of the artificial intelligence into the education pedagogy. I would also thank to the HOD and all the esteemed faculty of the DTU, all the external experts which we are going to listen in the coming days, and yes, not the least, the administrative staff and all and one of DTU who have contributed towards this, arranging towards this FDP. At the last, I would put place my record on submission to the esteemed faculty and to the esteemed speakers that this FDP is really a unique FDP where we are talking about the future, where we are thinking and marching toward the future, marching on a pathway to progress. So whatsoever question, whatsoever innovative ideas the participant gives or the external speakers provide, I would request the HOD to make it a formalized report so that it can be carried out and can be deliberated later on under the leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, which makes DTU work towards its mission and vision. At the last, once again, thanks to one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Malik. Professor Sanjay Goel, I'll just mention Professor Malik has recently joined as a registrar of this university. He is an able administrator, and above all administrator, he is an academician from core of his heart. He was a professor in Ravi Shankar University. He is now registrar of B.R. Ambedkar University of Delhi, and he is also our registrar of this university. And he is a man of excellence, not only given his views as an administrator, but I believe that he has given his word of wisdom as an academician also. And sir, it may be not in a protocol after vote of thanks. I have seen Professor Behra.
Yeah.
Behra Saab has also joined. Professor Goel, can we allow Professor Behra to have some words of wisdom? Nitin Saab, please.
Yeah, please. Professor Behra, I'll take a privilege to invite Professor Amren Behra. He is a joint director at the NICT at NCRT. Sir, you may please open up your video. Are you? Yeah.
He just
and Dr. Chabra can just make an introduction of Professor Amren Behra.
It is my esteemed pleasure to introduce to you today a distinguished guest, Dr. Amrendra P. Behra sir, Joint Director of the Central Institute of Educational Technology, National Council of Educational Research and Training, New Delhi. Throughout his career, Dr. Behra has held various key positions within the NCRT, demonstrating a remarkable growth and impact. Dr. Behra's expertise spans the realm of multimedia, interactive content development, and the integration of information and communication technologies in education. He has played a pivotal role in the creation and dissemination of educational materials through various mediums, including radio, television, and online platforms like Swam and Diksha. Moreover, Dr. Behra's dedication to research and evaluation has led to significant insights into the effectiveness of educational technology schemes and quality assurance in multimedia learning materials. His impact in policy formulation, curriculum development, and teacher training is profound and far-reaching. In recognition of his outstanding contribution, Dr. Behra has received accolades, including an award from the former President of India, Sri Pranab Mukherjee, for his pioneering efforts in promoting ICTs in education, particularly online and on-air learning. His visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to innovation make him a beacon of inspiration for educators and policymakers alike. Please join me once again in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Amrendra P. Behra sir. Sir, we welcome you.
Welcome, Professor Behra.
Sir, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Ji sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Uh, Thank you very much, first of all, to Delhi Teachers University for involving me to talk on this very important event which is being done, organized by the university, the Pathways to Progress AI-driven Education for Viksit Bharat 2047. So I also thank Honorable Professor Sanjay Goyalji, Vice Chancellor, JP University, and distinguished colleagues who are part of this particular event, and esteemed Professor Dhananjay Joshi ji, Vice Chancellor, Delhi Teachers University, and other colleagues. As all of us, we know that AI has come and AI is going to be there. And the NEP 2020 has given a lot of emphasis on use and integration of technology and online education. And it talks about integration of AI because the policy talks about disruptive technology and how these disruptive technologies, they have brought disruption in our normal life, whether it is a teacher, it is a teacher educator, whether it is a students, those who are at pre-service level, people teachers, and whether it is the big data we have in education sector in schools. Like in the country, there are 15 lakh schools and 90 lakh plus teachers in schools alone, and together higher education and school education, we have more than 1 crore teachers, and also more than 34 crore students in school and higher education. School education alone, 26 crore students. So I am a strong believer that AI can change the landscape. And being at the Central Institute of Educational Technology, we have recently experimented few AI related solutions. The first one I'll be talking about is recently as a part of policy implementation, NEP 2020 implementation. The policy says technology should be used for teaching, learning, assessment, for overcoming language barrier, for teacher preparation, and for children with special needs, helping them to enhance their access, and also through assistive technologies help them, and last not least for educational administration. So we started after the NEP 2020, NCRT came out with the National Curriculum Framework for foundational stage. So after the curriculum framework was launched, the ministry came out with Jadui Pitara as a learning box with a lot of resources, and NCRT again went ahead and developed a E-Jadui Pitara mobile app. E-Jadui Pitara mobile app using three AI bots. And this E-Jadui Pitara is meant for the teachers and parents at a foundational level. So 3-year pre-primary and grade 1 and 2. And we have also integrated Bhasini AI tool for translation, transcription of these resources into Indian languages. And today itself, we have more than 13 Indian languages. These resources are available. And the 3 AI bots which we are using, one is Katha Sakhi, so which is a story bot. Like many of us parents, so in the evening or during night when children are going to bed, so our small kids, they ask, Papa, Mummy, ek kahani suna do na. So from where will bring hundreds of stories from our memory? So it is extremely difficult. So we have prepared a bot, trained it in a way that if parents say that these are the characters, animal and birds character, I need a story and it should have some good moral in it. So it will immediately in few seconds create a story and also make available to the parent or the teacher. They can make use of it. And similarly, we teachers and teacher educators, we have to prepare lesson plans and unit plans for teaching these young children. So we thought that at foundational level also in pre-primary 3 years and grade 1 and 2 at foundational level. So the teachers need to know that what the NCFFS talks about content, pedagogy, technology integration, and how as a teacher I can prepare such a lesson. And if I have 2 visually challenged children in my classroom, so how I teach the currency notes to them. or any other concepts to them. So instantly the bot will prepare the lesson related content, and it will reproduce to the teacher, and teacher can collect some from that, and in the context of the interaction to be done with the students, can infuse in the lesson plan or modify the lesson plan. And it is also many times difficult. The NCFFS is 300 page plus document. So for digesting that document is also many times difficult. So in that case, in a mouse click, any page, any content written there can be retrieved in a few seconds time. So that is the main concern. And one more example I will be giving. NCRT used to develop textbooks in 3 major languages plus 4 major languages, I can say: Hindi, Sanskrit, Urdu and English. And with policy direction, policy has mentioned in chapter 22 about, while talking about languages, it says that all the resources needs to be made available to children, and label-based mother tongue or regional language should be the medium of instruction. So in that case, for the first time in the history of NCERT, we translated grade 1 to textbooks into 23 languages using Anubadini and Bhasini AI tools. So itself, that means I remember when the National Curriculum Framework 2005 was developed, and those documents, focus group papers, were to be translated into 22 languages included in our 8th schedule of our constitution, and also it has to be in English, so 23 languages. It took us 8+ months to get it done, and 1.5 years to settle the account, because so many hundreds of people were connected, and manually we were doing. It was coming from different states, but in 2 weeks time we could do this work through machine, and machine gave us the first draft. We vetted it immediately with the support of people, those who know these languages, and we could upload it on Diksha and ePathshala and NCERT website in a time-bound manner. So today we have entered into MOU with AICT also, and with Bhasini team in Ministry of Electronics and IT. And we will be translating all our e-contents also into other Indian languages. Even you will be surprised that we had recently developed around 54 primers in Indian languages. So machine is going to help us a lot to do the work in a time-bound manner. CIET, NCERT being the Media and Technology Institute, we are running 200 TV channels, feeding 400 radio stations, 15 websites and 12 mobile apps. Getting content and feeding 200 elephant, the 200 TV channel equal to that. So, and getting contents in multiple Indian languages. Today itself, 27 languages we are having telecast on PMA Vidya 200 DTH TV channels. We plan to onboard more languages. So I strongly feel machine can help us. So AI is going to be there and going to help us to develop e-content, to develop multiple language resources also, because there are 1700 plus languages in India, and 5 distinct language families. So really AI is going to bail us out. Even a large number of music of a particular locality for using in the e-content can be generated through AI. Even the animations, graphics also can be done through AI. So we have initiated a series of workshop with Adobe and a couple of other resource person in AI. In the morning itself, we were in a workshop where we are using AI tools. We are developing some e-contents. So I strongly feel that Delhi Teachers University need to take lead and orient and sensitize all the stakeholders, teachers, teacher educators, people teachers in a way, and we let us join together and make a difference and bring AI to everywhere, so that our youth, their skill development is done in a way they are spread across the globe, and provide support to all the countries, and bring laurels to our country, and also strengthen our economy. And our current government is also visualizing to strengthen the economy, though we are top 5 economy now. So the government is planning to make us top 3 economy also. So if our youths, they are infused with the newer tools, and they are developing resources using these tools. So sky is the limit for us, and time is going to come, and India is going to lead the whole world. So in technology as well. So all the best to the Delhi Teachers University and all the stakeholders. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to share this. And one thing I wanted to mention, that we are now setting up the Vidya Samiksha Kendra in all the states and UTs, including the national level Vidya Samiksha Kendra at NCRT. So all the data of 26 crore students, 15 lakh schools, and 90 lakh teachers will be on our mouse click. On a mouse click, we can see how many students have reported to school, how many midday meals have been cooked, and how many children have eaten that consumed that midday meal. Similarly, the learning also going to be monitored through AI support tools. 29 states have come out with that, and we are going that in 100 days we'll be doing that. Thank you very much, and looking forward to collaborate with the Delhi Teachers University.
Thank you, Professor Behra, for in spite of your very busy schedule today, just, you have given your magnificent outlook about Indian education panorama and about the using of AI and other tools. We are sure, sir, under your dynamic leadership, CIT will grow, and you are a founder of, many platforms of AI and CIT and C programs. So Delhi Teachers University will take the benefit of your experience in future. We'll go with some more collaborations. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time again. Over to Sonal Chabda.
Thank you so much, sir. The inaugural session ends with the Professor Behra sir's address, and we are really thankful to Professor Behra for sparing out time from his busy schedule, as our VC sir has also mentioned, because we can understand the kind of workload and the kind of things which are going on, and probably especially because when you have a workshop in your own setup, then it becomes even more difficult to spare out time. But then you have enlightened us with those kind of things which we will definitely keep in mind, and we'll take them forward, because we also aspire to do those things which can contribute to teacher education and allied areas. Thank you so much, sir.
Dr. Sonal just intervened. I just called yesterday afternoon in spite of the hectic schedule of today morning workshop, and he just says, sir, मैं बहुत व्यस्त हूँ, there is a workshop, but even I'll try. And he's a man of words. So dear participant, you are very lucky that we had wonderful session. Professor Behra's words of wisdom, and Professor J.P. Goyal, Vice Chancellor J.P. University, has given their thought about how we can go about AI to the pathways of Viksit Bharat. And now we will have our second session. Over to Dr. Sonal.